really shouldn't play all of Chapter 5, Episode 5. I shouldn't play any of it. Um, However, the temptation is there to start it. Because I really, really like this game and I don't want to stop playing. So I'm just going to play the very start. A lonely piano refrain echoes through your head as you sleep. It feels like it goes on forever, clumsy and uncertain of itself, stopping and starting at random. But as your dreams start to fade, you realize the music is following you to the waking world, continuing even as your mind resolidifies and banishes the last few remnants of your dreams. When it finally stops, you're startled by the sudden silence. You're awake now, cold and uncomfortable, your muscles stiff and achy, your head still clouded with sleep. You realize there is a concerning lack of blanket and mattress. There is nothing beneath you but hard wooden floorboards, dusty and uneven. There's also a weight on your chest, and claws digging gently into your skin. Your heart skips a beat. You're greeted by two beady eyes, staring down at you over the twitching nose of the opossum that lives in your drawer. The other one is crouched in the corner, eyeing you warily. You are not in your room. You stand, your legs still wobbly with sleep, the odd tilt of the floor adding to your unsteadiness. The opossum clings to your shirt with its tiny claws, holding on for dear life. You must be in the forbidden wing. The small opossum finally moves. It carefully makes its way down the length of your clothes, as if afraid you might notice it if it moves too quickly. It hastens when it finds solid ground, scurrying to the larger opossum in the corner. The two stare up at you, not quite afraid, but clearly more wary now that you've risen to your full human height. Maybe they were watching over you as you slept, or maybe they were hoping you might be lunch. Either way, you're both going your separate ways now. There are two doors out of the barren room. One is a normal doorway, leading into what you assume to be a hallway. The other is a door that must have once been hidden, though the ruined state of the wallpaper has robbed it of its secrecy. You groggily pet your legs before realizing that you're still in your evening attire. Whatever brought you here wasn't thoughtful enough to bring your phone from the nightstand. You yell, hoping that Tabitha is yet to leave for the mines. You receive no response. Naturally. There doesn't seem to be a clear way to open it, besides the brass circle where a handle should be. Unfortunate. You lean forward, peering in the narrow opening at what lies behind the door. Stop. Of course it is. You make your way carefully across the slanted room and deeper into the forbidden wing. Before you is a long hallway. Dust dances in the weak sunlight, beaming in through cracked glass. A tinge of mildew stings your nose, warning you away, though there's nowhere else to run to now. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and a staircase looms at the far end. You make your way to the dark doorway in the middle of the corridor. The parlor. I love my voice. Of course, the Scarlets of old would have had a dedicated space to entertain their guests. It would feel elegant if not for the massive crack that runs the entire length of the floor. The air here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms. There's a large painting on the far wall of the room. From a distance, it looks like it might depict the town. Something else catches your eye too. A bookshelf, or rather, what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. Its sagging shelves reveal some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. Painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. The town hall, the estate, the mines, and the clinic, still called a hospital at the time of this painting, the church, and then there's somewhere you've yet to see, the historical Callaway/Tremaine homesteads. The faded bronze plaque beneath reads, in commemoration of Enoch Scarlet, head of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project. Let the past never be forgotten. You cross the parlor, testing each careful step along the way, and duck between the collapsed shelves of the old bookshelf. The space is dark, its features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through the myriad of cracks and holes in the walls. The wallpaper, a deep, exquisite red, has a blood-like glow to the dimness. The walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, its occupants dusty, but mostly intact. All of these aren't ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the center of the room. Maybe the collection of literature can help you learn about this room's occupant. You approach the shelf, your eager eyes poring over titles for anything that seems to stand out. The upper shelves are mostly classic fiction, Moby Dick, Shakespeare, various Dickens novels, nothing that stands out as particularly interesting. The bottom shelf seems to be home to reference books, heavy volumes of long outdated construction law, treatises on various aspects of the coal industry, but there's also a book on city planning that stands out to you. The spine is marked with a dot. You pull it out, the shelves above shifting precariously, as if the book held some load-bearing purpose. The instant you crack its spine, a slip of paper falls out, ancient and fragile and yellowed with age. It's some kind of map. Ho 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 ho. And judging by the highlighted landmarks, it's a map of Scarlet Hollow, Town Hall, the old hospital, the mines, all places where stone carvings had been buried. There's one more circled area as well, what looks to be a patch of farmland. You haven't paid this location a visit yet, but judging by the way the other buildings have had their ways of drawing you in, it's probably only a matter of time. You carefully fold the map and shove it into a pocket. The top drawer mostly contains old-timey letter-writing materials, complete with a fancy dagger-shaped letter opener and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the initials ES. Underneath, you find a pile of crumbling financial documents. Scrawled in neat cursive in every spot that needed a signature is the name Enoch Scarlet. This must be his desk, meaning this must also be his study. And at the very bottom of the drawer, you're surprised to find a face you recognize staring back up at you. An antique photograph of a young man, his blonde hair nearly white against the dark sepia background. It's Teddy. Looks almost exactly the same as he did in your vision. Almost. There's a carefree look in his eye that seemed to have faded by the time he found his way to that hospital bed. Enoch must have been lying to that doctor. If the man he spoke to wasn't Teddy, why would there be a picture of him in Enoch's study? The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out. It seems that it was locked, but the bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of uselessness years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. Inside you find a strange collection of glass vials. Their surfaces are clouded over, but you can make out what seems to be paper, preserved somehow inside the containers, a hint of writing visible at the edges. You reach for one of them, but hesitate before opening it. This is a fragile thing, and it hums with a strange energy. You close your eyes and focus on that hum, and to your surprise, at the back of your mind, you hear it. To Miss Maeve, I know it has been several years since my last visit, but I do hope you remember the young lad who used to find himself at your doorstep more than you probably would have liked. I write you now with the utmost urgency. I'm not sure if news has yet reached you regarding what transpired just yesterday. Many lives were lost. The town is in a frenzy. I hope to mitigate some of the damage that has been done, and thus must speak with you at once. I attempted the journey to your place of residence, but was unable to locate it. You once told me of another way to reach you, and though it seems nothing but a half-remembered fantasy, I am acting in desperation. I can only hope this letter finds its way to you, as you once said it would be as you once said it would in my hour of need. I must meet with you at your soonest convenience. Sincerely, E.S. Reach for another. Miss Farina, trouble with tea. Your presence requested at once. And another. Farina, know what you tried. Do not appreciate the attempt at subterfuge. Though we both knew what was at stake here, the boy has been dealt with. Expect me this evening for in-person discussion. Some of these letters are addressed to Miss Maeve, and some to Farina. All are signed E.S. You assume these have to be from Enoch. Many seem unimportant, just listing a time and place. You assume meetings between Enoch and whoever the Farina may have been. Let's follow these footprints. Takes you up a flight of stairs, the way down blocked by debris, and you find yourself on the 3rd floor of the estate for the first time. There are more footprints leading all the way down the hallway and into the farthest door. The boxes slide out of the way with a bit of elbow grease. You push past them into the room beyond. The room is coldly empty. A large antique bed is made, its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off the feeling of tidiness, even with cobwebs stretched between each corner of its 4-poster frame. As you sift through paper, it quickly becomes clear to you whose room this is. There are stacks of bills in Edwardine's name, filling nearly every drawer, and even once you manage to get past the layers of envelopes and trifold paper, you hit a permafrost of receipts. It seemed she was doing her best to be meticulous and hold on to any scrap of paper that might possibly be important. But when you reach the bottom drawers, you find something entirely different. Greeting cards, letters, small wrapped packages, some opened, some sealed, some crumpled into messy balls. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by a handwritten note. Huh? Tabby, hope you're doing well. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Hope her land treats you to your best Christmas yet. I'm not sure what sort of doodads you're into these days, so I sent a little something that made me think of you. I made sure they were the best shells of the bunch. Not sure how rare any of them are, but they're awful pretty, and they still got that beach smell. And make sure you put your ear up to 'em too. It doesn't compare to the real thing, but it comes close enough. And in case you think that makes me a cheapskate, I made sure to send along a little cash too, so you can get yourself something a little nicer than glorified beach trash. Make sure you get Perlan to take you out to the take you to the nice toy store, because that's where I'd take you if I was there. If you get the time, I'd love to hear from you. I miss you so much, Tabby, and I'm always thinking of you. You can come out and visit me anytime. I know you've always wanted to see what it's like out east. I've made sure to write out my address on the back of this card, just in case you didn't know how to get a hold of me. Been missing you, my incredible, wonderful, amazing daughter. Oh. Happy birthday, Tabby. It's May again, your old dad. So, the big 20. I can't believe my daughter is such an adult. In my mind, you're still that bouncy little kid doing cartwheels on the front lawn, telling me what various sounds animals make like you're the professor of animal noises. I have no idea if you read these, but I'll keep writing them, even if sometimes it feels like I'm writing them to a ghost. I mean, we haven't spoken in almost 15 years. You're a whole human being now, and I have no idea what you're like. I like to think we get along, though. As always, my address is on the back. I hope you'll decide to come visit me one of these days. I've got a guest room all set up, just in case. I'm always ready for you, kid. I love you, and I always will, no matter how, no matter who you turned out to be. Love, Dad. Bottom drawer is almost entirely unopened envelopes, dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid. All from him. You pocket a few of the cards. Good. Like, oh my days. Did Perlan keep those from her? Seems Edwardine kept things neat and orderly, or as neat and orderly as she could, considering the decaying state of the place. You can't help but notice that these dresses look strikingly like the style Tabitha wears. You can imagine Perlan sifting through Edwardine's old trunks of clothes, recycling moth-eaten vintage dresses for her daughter in place of buying anything new. The only thing here besides her clothes and shoes is a box, shoved off to one side. You pick it up. Child-sized overalls, striped shirts, a small pair of trousers with suspenders still attached. One of those little sailor suits boys from the 50s were always wearing. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed, tucked away in the bottom of the box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in almost an illegible handwriting, written in some thick brown watery ink that's cracked with age. I am in here too and I love you. Your hands tremble, the note somehow making the tips of your fingers feel dirty even as it sits behind a layer of plastic. Hmm. You carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There's nothing below the window but the tops of distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your death is the straining foundation that still somehow holds this place together. At least, for now. This space was clearly once a nursery, though no child has been in here for a long, long time. The top shelf is occupied by antique picture books, Dick and Jane, books of nursery rhymes, ancient editions of Grimm's fairy tales. The lower shelves are full of educational material, from children's encyclopedias to writing practice workbooks. From the sheer number of learning-oriented books on the shelf, you get the impression that the children who lived here were not supposed to be as interested in fun and fiction as they were in diction and spelling. Your family may have been wealthy, but maybe not in joy. You leaf through a few of the practice workbooks, gently turning the near-crumbling pages. Reasons Mommy should take me and Marybelle to the zoo. 1. We have been very good girls and have not cried for a whole week. 2. Marybelle says elephants are so big and I would like to see one. 3. I think it would be very fun and Mommy would have a good time. All are signed with the carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlet. You flip through the rest of the book, your eyes unfocused as the many practice sentences and letter copying pages flash by, but something near the back of the book gives you pause. In the section that starts with the prompt, "Today I," Alexandra continues with, "talked to the boy in the wall." This last prompt lingers with you. If all of these practice books are the same, you wonder what else you'll manage to find under "Today I." You grab the next copy, opening it to the first practice writing page. "Today I told the boy in the wall about my family. Then the boy in the wall said he is happy he has a kid to talk to. I am also glad because Marybelle is mean sometimes and tells me what to do. He is really nice, and I hope he can come out of the wall to play with us soon. Today I told the boy in the wall that I am sad. He was really nice and told me he knows how to make mommy be nicer to me. He said mommy tucks him in every night and reads him stories and is never mean, and that if I was in the wall, mommy would also be nice to me. He said there can only be one kid in the wall, so he will have to switch places with me, but mommy will be nice to me then, so that it is okay. Today I ate dinner with mommy. She said she made me special dinner and she sat with me the whole time and I was a good girl and ate it all. Mommy is proud of me. It was a good day and I am happy. The rest of the book is blank. Mm-hmm. Great. You continue following the trail of footprints, approaching the farthest room down the hall. The door was clearly meant to be hidden, but it's been left open. The room is starkly empty, save for a rug and a few candelabras. The lack of dusty old boxes and rotting antiques mark it as distinct from the rest of the cluttered, forgotten spaces you've explored. It pains you to stand in this space. Emotions hang over you, strong, oppressive, and overwhelming thoughts that threaten to fill your lungs. You don't feel death here. You feel something worse, a deeper loss, one that's left a wound that has refused to scar. You can't help but fixate on the carpet in the center of the room. The corner is rumpled, as if it had been recently moved. You pull the carpet up, exposing the bare floor and revealing what lies beneath. An ornate ring of sigils has been carved into the floor, 5 along the edges, with a 6th in the center. The circle emits a now uncomfortably familiar feeling. You could feel your gaze forced to crawl over every intricate detail of the carving in front of you. The serpents wrapped around the staff give you flashes of the room beyond the morgue, and the darkness that swept through the house once it had been uncovered. The fist and chain make you feel like you're back in the claustrophobic confines of the mines, surrounded by the angry hammering of its memories. The horns have the same nightmarish, dreamy feeling of the world constructed by the furious ghost of Charles Shaw, Jr. The others are new to you. The feelings they emit are less intense, giving only vague impressions of what they might be tied to. Golden fields, the mewling of fresh souls, just slithering out from the womb and desperate to be fed. Another that rings like bells in your mind, calling you not towards it, but away from it, pushing you from its threshold and into the darkness. But the central symbol is strongest of all. It echoes out across the room, a vast ego proclaiming its dominance. This is all further confirmation of what the map in Enoch's study suggested. You exit into a short hallway. There are stairs here, leading back down to the lower floors, but there is also another door. It's hanging ajar, the many locks and deadbolts along its edge glimmering in the weak morning light. The doorframe itself is gouged and splintered, evidence that some desperate creature tried to save itself from the room beyond, time and time again. This was a prison cell. Everything about this place reeks of neglected humanity. The walls are covered in scratches, legible words mixed in with the nonsense of desperate clawing. The one window, set high on the far wall, is fitted with a thick pane of glass, as if the iron bars just beyond it wouldn't be enough to hold the imprisoned. You can't help but notice that the doll from your closet sits watching you from the bed, one eyelid drooping. It adds an extra layer of menace to the already deeply unsettling room. Property of Alexandra. The pain radiating from these walls howls through your mind. Whatever lived here lived in constant torment. But the etchings on the walls are more than just evidence of the suffering that went on here. Whatever was trapped in these walls was trying to send a message to you or to anyone who might happen across it. Your eyes are drawn to the massive, almost letters, dug as deep into the brick as this cell's prisoner could manage, highlighted with whatever pigments were available. It almost looks like a word, though none of the lines meet up, causing you to constantly doubt whether they're letters at all, or just lines that fool the eye into imagining shapes that aren't there. Your stomach clenches with nausea as you run your eyes along the deep furrows in the wall, but whatever was in here wanted these words to be known, so you do your best to store them away, trying to burn the image of them into your mind, carved deep into the wall, bloody against the filthy brick. And then, one final detail grabs you. A metallic glint from the filthy, bare mattress. A doorknob. This is what you've been looking for. Was it left here for you? As you take it, sound wraps around you. Music. The tinkling of piano keys, played by a clumsy hand. They echo up a narrow staircase at the end of the hall. You've come this far. Clearly, you're meant to go just a little further. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once a servant's quarters, a network of cramped passageways hidden away behind the expansive rooms of the estate without so much as a window for illumination. You persist and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet estate, the echoing piano your only company. Soon enough, you see light again, the sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. That means the locked door to the Forbidden Wing is just down the hall. You've yet to confront your guide. The musician plays on as you move cautiously through the dark, the slope now so dramatic it feels like walking downhill, jagged remains of the floorboards jutting out like splintered trees. The flow of notes finally stops as you reach an open doorway to what was once a music room. Wayne stands from the bench of a battered grand piano, turning to face you. So, now you've seen it, Scarlet. He makes his way down the tilted floor towards you. A breeze passes by him, carrying with it the smell from the wound that is his body. I hope you enjoyed the show. He stops just a few paces away. And I trust you understand the implications of everything you've seen. If you aren't careful, and you put your faith in the wrong people, things could go very, very wrong for you. Did you need to carry me off in my sleep? A moment of weakness. I was impatient. You shouldn't do that to people. It's all serving a greater purpose, Scarlet. You'll be better off for it. I'm here, aren't I? Can't you see I trust you? Just tell me everything. You can tell me whatever it is you want me to know. Do you want to be somebody else's puppet, Scarlet? I can guide you to where you need to be, but it's up to you to open your eyes. Which hold some of the final pieces, and her pry them from their hands, and then everything should start falling into place. The thought feels slippery. You're unable to hold onto it, and the holding is painful, like you're gripping onto it in white-knuckled fists. You're forced to let go. It fades. Unless you're already starting to forget about her. Memory is a disloyal thing, isn't it? Physical. Easily manipulated. Something being missing from your head doesn't mean it's gone from the world. There's a memory that I can't quite hold on to. A thought that almost hurts to think. Keep it in the back of your mind. Try not to let it hurt too much. But don't let her take it from you either. You'll remember when you need to. Does Tabitha know about all this? Of course. Why do you think she invited you here? Oh my god. But she's my cousin. I love her. She wouldn't. Are you sure she loves you? Or do you just wish she did? I've given you a glimpse into one of your possible futures. You can choose to believe that Tabitha will shrug off the generations of duty and expectations that have fallen on her shoulders, all because of some deep familial love. But do you really think she will? Do you want to bet your freedom on it? Tabitha will always be a Scarlet. The phrase scrawled on that wall, what was it? Why does it feel bad to think it? I'm glad you noticed. It's a weapon. Hold on to it. What was with the doll in that room? She liked it. So I liked it too. It was nice to see it again after so many years. Take a step forward. Wayne doesn't flinch as you approach, but you can sense a trepidation. He seems uncertain of what you're about to do. What are you? I'm yours, if you'll have me. Oh, goodness gracious. You have my trust. You don't have to play hide and seek anymore. We can be partners. Partners. Like the sound of that. Wayne takes a step forward, closing what little gap remained between you. The unsteady floor causes you to stumble back against the wall, Wayne looming over you, his outstretched arm blocking you from escape. There is only him and you, locked in a near embrace. I can show you. Give you a taste of what we could be, what I can offer you. He's breathing more heavily now. It's slight, but noticeable. He's excited, but trying not to show it. If you're ready. Oh, wait. Will this make me fall apart? Like you? No. You don't have to worry about this happening to you. Not if we do things right. I'm being rejected. But a fleeting moment with you will be bliss for us both. No pain, no lingering aftermath, but pleasure. Do it. Bright eyes shining through the veil that flutters slightly with each breath. His other arm reaches up towards your throat. He rests his palm on the nape of your neck. It's warmer than you'd expected, calloused and cracked, his fingers strong as they tighten around you. There's a sudden sharp pain, as if you've been stuck with a pin, and the unsettling feeling of something squirming. You can't help but try to jerk away from him, as the squirming slithers its way up your throat. His fingers grip tighter, holding you firmly in place. Then it stops, and a pleasant numbness starts to spread out from the base of your skull, flowing down your spine, enveloping you in a wave of bone-deep serenity. Your surroundings become unfocused, vision swimming as your head lolls to the side, hair standing on end in a full-body shiver as an intense pleasure sweeps across your skin. You're vaguely aware that your legs have collapsed from under you. What is happening? He lets you go. You slump to the floor as he takes a shaky step back, adjusting his sleeve. Think of that as a kiss. You need to redefine. He has to catch his breath as he speaks. Before you have the chance to respond, he's gone, slipping back into the shadows. Make your way back to where you woke up and slot in the handle into the secret door on the wall. Also, I'd like to note before I forget that the achievement sets referenced Wayne as a guardian angel, which I just think is interesting. Out of all the things to call him. But I mean, sure, why not for now? You make your way back to where you woke up and slot in the handle into the secret door on the wall. It twists, and the door pulls back, and you stumble through your closet and back into your bedroom. You lean against the doorframe as the last dregs of the intoxicating kiss leave your system, returning you to some semblance of normality. The estate has gotten to you. After the events of this morning, your body burns with a ferocious itch to leave this place behind, to be anywhere but here. You leave in a haze, mindlessly grabbing clothes and an uncharged phone, barely even noticing your surroundings as you rush outside. The morning's revelations seizing your body and mind alike with a suffocating grip. Even the lingering afterglow of your entanglement with Wayne can't fill the sinking pit dug into your stomach by the suggestion that Tabitha has not only known about all of this, but that she is, in some way, a willing participant in your family's crimes. Not only that, but she has designs for you. Of course she does. She hates you. She threatened you just yesterday. It must be true. You've had a glimpse of the brilliant colors of Wayne's soul. Something that beautiful, that expansive, couldn't lie to you. It wouldn't lie to you. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, doing your best to separate your thoughts from the rush dominating your body. Maybe you can't trust Wayne after all. Even if you can, at least now it's something you can consider. It's true. Everything you found in the Forbidden Wing could have been the work of an unreliable narrator. Not that it saves you from the ever-tightening grip of anxiety strangling your lungs. The events of this morning aren't the sort of thing you can casually move to the back of your mind. You have to do something. You're out of breath by the time you wind up outside the library, panting as you try to compose yourself before entering. Hi, Pixel. The library is somewhat less silent than usual. There are sounds coming from the open doorway of the mayor's office upstairs, the shuffling of paper accompanied by a low muttering. You recognize Oscar by a slightly manic laugh that cuts through the murmuring, as uncharacteristic as it is for the librarian. You climb the stairs and find Oscar amid a scattered pile of old paper and ancient leather-bound clutchers. He's torn a massive hole in the wall. Look at that. And look, there's dog cookies. Scarlet, excellent. I was hoping I might see you today. I couldn't sleep at all last night. I kept thinking about the haunting and everything it might mean, and whether or not there are more locations that might be similarly affected, and how if there are, it would of course be advantageous if we managed to find them before they do what they did here. And then Rosalina mumbled something about rooms being wrong in her sleep, and that just made something click for me. Long story short, I decided to start looking through old floor plans for all the buildings in town. At first, I figured the town hall had already shared all its secrets with us, but haha, as you can see, there was still more to be found. I found a discrepancy in what is now the mayor's office between the initial plans and how it stands today, so I started knocking on walls, like in all the movies, and lo and behold, an honest-to-God secret room.
Some old storage closet that's been sealed away behind the wallpaper for a century, full of old holler secrets, your family at the center of it all. There are building plans for all these locations around town, the town hall included, where there's clearly been extra work done to bury things in the foundations. All as part of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project, run by Enoch in the period following the Shaw mine collapse. And more than that, I found what I think are models of what are supposed to be buried, and where. Like this. Oscar produces a small stone object. Its details are simpler, less refined, but this is unmistakably a model of a stone carving. Though whether or not it's one you've seen already eludes you. I wonder what these are supposed to be. Was Enoch at the helm of a secret society running Scarlet Hollow back in the day? Is there still a secret society running Scarlet Hollow now? And to add to the mystery, there's this name I've seen repeated through these documents, Verena. She seems to be deferred to as an authority, which of course stuck out to me, as there weren't a lot of women involved in government or construction or that sort of thing back then. Consulted Verena. Verena requested this change or that, so I went looking for more information on this person, but I wasn't able to find any records of her elsewhere. No birth certificates, death certificates, property purchases, marriages, divorces, nothing at all. I suppose she may have lived off the grid. There are probably plenty of people who lived and died with no record that they ever were. But I have to admit, it's curious, isn't it? Let's see here. I actually found something about a Verena in the estate this morning. You explained to Oscar what you were able to take away from the vials hidden away in Enoch's secret study. Old vials. Fascinating. There's no use denying the existence of magic. This was clearly some type of one-way communication system, one designed to be very hard to find. And there's two names, Verena and Maeve. It would seem that this Maeve is older than Enoch, and she was also who he turned to after a disaster. I assume the collapse of the Shaw mine. But then she disappears, with Verena taking her place, and it would seem that Enoch and Verena had a falling out, with her apparently trying to undermine him. But for what reason, I wonder? Miss Maeve. Could Verena have been a pseudonym? Maybe Maeve is the one in the town records and I was looking for the wrong name. You didn't happen to find anything else, did you? Any bit of information right now helps. You recount everything you experienced in the estate, the whole harrowing adventure, culminating in the horrible little cell you found hidden away, and your encounter with Wayne. All these little puzzle pieces have come together, and is showing us a picture of your family, of Enoch, right at the heart of Scarlet Hollow's problems. Let me explain. I know this probably sounds like a leap in logic, but the way I see it, these stone objects are clearly tied to incidents that have happened in town this week. There was a stone in the basement of the annex, which, it would seem, was built for the sole purpose of extending the town hall enough to cover the installation site. And of course, there was a stone installed in the Shaw mine once it had been dug out. Maybe it's just correlative, but correlation is the only tool we have at the moment. Assuming I'm right about all this, there are 3 more locations, which means we have 3 opportunities to preempt something catastrophic. My notes indicate the likely locations are Dr. Kelly's clinic, the church, and one of the old farmhouses. I believe it's the Tremaine property. Though of those 3, the farm seems like the most accessible. I assume a practical woman like Dr. Kelly would need some convincing before we could tear down any walls, and we'd probably need heavy machinery for the carving at the church. We don't know how long it would take to get our hands on an excavator. Maybe that's something your cousin would be able to help with. but that would also mean involving her.
What do you mean we'd need heavy machinery for the church?
These schematics seem to suggest it won't be accessible from inside the building itself. There's mention of the pastor at the time giving them trouble, so they installed it using a tunnel system to bypass his permission. It looks to me like the tunnels are under what the kids call Tetanus Lake, or at least that's what we called it back in my day. People have been treating it like a trash heap for decades. It's all rusted cans and broken bottles. If we want to access any of it, we'll need serious equipment. I also just like I feel like the first time I saw Tetanus Lake, I wouldn't have thought that it would be something that we'd go check out at any point because why the heck would you do that? Uh, but, or Pastor Daniel's permission to tear up the pulpit, which I assume will result in much the same argument the pastor had with Enoch 100 years ago.
Oscar, did you listen to me about the estate? I feel like you're barely taking what I told you seriously. There's a lot more going on than just ancient history here.
I'm taking all of this extremely seriously. I would hope the hole I made in the wall shows just how dedicated I am to fixing all this. Look at the destruction I caused. Look, I want to fix everything. Of course, I'll be looking into everything else you shared with me, but those are secondary areas of research and things that don't require an in-person investigation. If you're afraid of your cousin, just avoid her. You can come back to the library after you find the next carving, if that helps. You don't need to stay in the estate. Maybe I should be afraid of Tabitha, but I'm not. Oh, my naivety.
Do you know what to expect at the farm? Or at least where on the farm the stone would be?
It looks to be buried underneath the house in what seems like a root cellar, similar to the one in the annex. And as to what to expect, I'm afraid I have no insights there. Something bad, I imagine. Though the men out there are usually heavily armed, so at least you'll have weaponry available this time.
Wayne wanted me to find a witch. This Farina seems to fit the bill.
Unfortunately, if there's nothing on the records, there isn't a meaningful avenue to explore with her. No threads to follow. She probably died a long time ago. If she were alive, she'd have to be well over 100 years old. I suppose a witch could live a long time, who's to say? But I'm not sure I'm ready to entertain that sort of thinking. I've still got my feet planted too firmly in reality. So is the plan for us to just walk headlong into danger? Unprepared? Well, it's worked out for you so far. Okay. Yeah, debatable. Varying degrees of success. Whoa, of success. I wish there was a better alternative. I really, truly do. But as far as I see it, our only three options are waiting around for something to happen, leaving town with our tails between our legs, or walking headlong into danger. For better or for worse, Scarlet Hollow is my home, Starlet. I'm going to see this through to the end.
Um, Mr. Gutierrez? I think maybe you forgot, but I asked a little while ago if you could help me with Rosalina's medicine, because I think it's wearing off and she's having a lot of trouble. She's saying some really weird stuff. I mean, she's been saying weird stuff since yesterday, but now it's getting, like, really weird. Like in movies where people do drugs and see spirals and stuff. And I know there's a lot of rules about the medicine, and I don't remember what they are or which one she's supposed to have every 3 hours or every 12 hours, and I really, really don't want to mess up.
Sure, I can walk you through it again. The ones with the yellow sticker are every 3 hours.
Can you just come and do it? The last couple times I came up to ask, I forgot everything by the time I was down there, and I think she also really needs some food, but all you have is onions, and I don't know what to do with those.
Look, I'll be done in just a minute, I promise. In the meantime, why don't you call the doctor and see if she can walk you through it? It's not like I'm the expert, anyway. It's probably good to double check. And after we get Rosa sorted, I'll give you some cash so you can run to the gas station for some snacks for you both. We can order pizza for dinner if your parents haven't come to pick you up by then. How's that sound?
Okay. Alexis wanders back downstairs.
Jesus, I keep losing track of time. Clearly, I need to get my head out of the clouds, at least long enough to get some parent time in. Now, where was that map?
He rifles through his papers, searching. He finds what he's looking for and hands it to you. It's a map of Scarlet Hollow.
The best route to Julius Tremaine's house is down Main Street, then turn onto the first dirt road and keep going. But the map should help you keep things straight. Good luck out there, Starlet. I really hope it's not too bad. But we're working towards something now. I know we can solve this if we just collect as much data as we can.
Oscar, you're ignoring your kid. You're pushing me away. Do you really think there's anything here that's worth that cost?
I'm not ignoring her. The most important thing for her right now is rest. She was sleeping all morning. I wasn't going to interrupt that. Though I suppose I must be more scattered than I thought, if that was the second time Alexis had to come ask me about it. But the work is important too. I know it is. I'm doing all this for you. I'm not pushing you away. I'm supporting you. I'm sorry if that's not how it seems, but there's something to be uncovered here, and once I find it, it will all make sense. I promise.
But if we're in this together, why not come with me?
I I would hold you back, Starlet. I know enough about myself to understand where I'm most useful, and that's here. I'm not a fighter. I can't protect you the way I would want to, but I can protect you with information. I can protect you with the knowledge and understanding of what exactly we're dealing with. I'd like to be able to do that, to repay you for everything you've done for me and Rosalina, as best I can. Whoa. This is a crazy line.
Okay, I get it. You're busy. I guess I'll leave you to it.
It's true, I am. I'm doing my part, Starlet. We all have our roles in this, and I finally understand mine. Rosalina needs me. You saw as much. I can't stray too far from home while she's in this condition. And I'm starting to understand now. We all have our roles in this. Mine is here, with my books and ledgers. There's something here that needs to be found, and I'll find it. I'll be useful. I'll be here when you're done, ideally with a plan to access the church. Okay.
I need to see Tabitha.
She's the only person who can probably offer a satisfying answer to the horrors of this morning. One can hope. The events of this morning beg for an immediate confrontation. By the time you notice where your legs are taking you, you're already en route to the Scarlet Mines. You stumble down the road, your panicked thoughts directing themselves like a pointed arrow towards your destination. Things will make sense again, just as soon as you get where you're going. There are no picketers outside the mine today. The only sound is the constant low industrial clanking of unending productivity. The only sign of life, the slow-moving machinery beyond the rickety chain-link fence. The Scarlet Hollow mines are ticking along, as they always have. There's nothing here to stop you from seeing your cousin. Here you are, outside of your cousin's office. The only thing left, go inside. It'd be really funny after the day before and to just go inside. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and knock on the door. Was it now? Come in. You enter your cousin's office to find her seated at her desk, shotgun in hand, eyeing its mechanisms with focused intent. You're more than familiar with this firearm. It was only last night that you saw your cousin use it to deadly effect. You have no idea how much she knows about what you found in the Forbidden Wing, but you're ready to give her the benefit of the doubt. I bet you're surprised you didn't have to wander through a crowd of angry miners to get here. This strike is over. It was never going to last. Just a handful of troublemakers who didn't realize how good they had it. They can cause problems at some other mine. Probably all spies from some union anyway. Now, why are you here? Wayne kidnapped me in my sleep, Tabitha. He dragged me off to the Forbidden Wing. I found things in there. He what? But that's... Your cousin's face tightens, her eyes narrowing, her already pale cheeks losing a little more of their color. That thing dragged you into its web, huh? What do you think you saw? I found these letters from your dad stashed away in a drawer. That isn't funny, Scarlet. My dad has never and would never send me anything. Not that it's any of your business, anyway. There are a lot more, too. Years worth. You slide the cards you took from Edwardine's room across Tabitha's desk. Her consternation fades as she reads through them, her brow knitting, her knuckles growing white where they grip the barrel of the gun. So what? A few birthday cards aren't enough. Not now. For all I know, you wrote these cards anyway. Not that it matters. Verlan made sure I knew exactly what he was like, and I don't want some unreliable drunken slob in my life. I don't think the takeaway from this is that you can trust your mom. I don't trust anyone, Scarlet. This doesn't change a thing for me. Yeah, sure. I want to talk about Alexandra, Scarlet. Fine, but I'm not going to have much to say. It's not like Grandma Eddie talked about her. She and Enoch died on the same day. Don't you think that's a little bit suspicious? Oh my god, you are so annoying. What? Do you want a whole forensics team to comb the hills for evidence? On a case that's been cold since the 50s? Yeah, good luck. Even Grandma Eddie gave up, and that was her daughter. If there was something to find, I'm sure she would have found it. She wrote about someone called the boy in the wall. Why are we talking about a child's writing? I couldn't imagine something less important. Wayne was interested in her doll. He would. Creep. Why do you know that? Are you having daily check-ins with the guy? Because you shouldn't. Like I said, he is a creep. Crazy thing to say. What is he really? It's obvious he isn't human, Tabitha. He's human. He's as flawed as any of us, and I don't care how confident he sounds. He's just as manipulative as anyone else. He seems to think you're planning on locking me away in the Forbidden Wing. You've said enough, Starlet, though I really, really have to wonder what you expected to get out of this conversation. Let's say, just for a minute, that every single thing you've said, everything you've so much as implied, is true. I brought you, a relative I'd never met, someone who might as well be a stranger to me, here to this town in the middle of nowhere where you don't know a soul, for the express purpose of of stuffing you into a tiny cell hidden away in my estate. You chose, in the face of all of these revelations, to rush into a confrontation with a monster scheming against you face to face, alone. You are so much dumber than you look. She levels the gun at you. The end of the barrel is like an unblinking black eye. Don't move. I wish you could understand the things that I've gone through, the responsibilities that you've never had to shoulder. But you don't give a shit about me, do you? That's fine. I'm used to that. People usually stop giving a shit about me, sooner or later. Besides, it's not like it changes anything whether you like me or not. It doesn't even matter if you're right about everything you saw. All that matters to me is that you think you're right. And I'm not going to let my idiot cousin run around slandering my name to the hundreds of thankless people I've worked every day of my life to save. Oh, so everything's about you, huh? It's like you don't even listen to me. Everything is about this town, and I'm the only person left that's even trying to hold it all together. You're a loser, Starlet, so I wouldn't expect you to get it. But maybe one day, if you get your act together, you'll have people who actually depend on you for their livelihoods. But until you know the weight of that, your opinion is meaningless to me. A police siren cuts through your thoughts, interrupting any arguments you may have been forming. And that would be the police. Perlan had a switch installed in the desk ages ago. I'd never used it before, but what can I say? I was feeling threatened. You've crossed a line, Starlet. This is crazy. And before you decide the smart thing to do would be to leave my office and make a run for it, let me tell you why that's a bad idea. If you leave before they get here, I will get them on the phone, and they will hear details about this conversation. And I can tell them anything I want about how threatening you were, and how you were ranting and raving, and how dangerous you seemed. Now, are we clear? Do we have an understanding? Say whatever you want. I'm leaving. You'll regret this. And yet, you turn and leave her office anyway. You make your way quickly down the hill, away from your cousin's office and the threat of her gun. Takes you more than a moment to reorient yourself in the light of day. You know you can't just wander aimlessly without a plan. Surely, if you simply manage to find the right person, you'll find safe haven from your cousin, but you have to know where you're going. Interesting. Oh, I hate decisions. I'm glad none of these are quick time events. Could you imagine? I don't think I'd survive this game if I had to quickly decide what I wanted to do. The police are like coming over the hill. Wait, guys, I need to figure out what I'm going to do next. Oh, goodness. I'm in the very least intrigued by doing this. The miners won't stand for whatever it is your cousin is up to. You just need to find some of them and articulate exactly what it is that they should be upset about. But making that decision is as far as you make it, far before a familiar voice stops you in your tracks. Starlet, you have the right to remain silent. Are you arresting me? For what? I sure am, and I'm so happy you asked. We can start with you trespassing on Miss Scarlet's private property, but there's plenty more where that came from. A man died on Monday, and you're still the biggest suspect we've got. I just wish we'd been able to take you in after that mine collapse. I can't help but think we could have prevented this if we'd just acted on our instincts sooner. Is that enough reason for you? Not really, no. But like I said, you've got the right to remain silent. Mm-hmm. Do it on pizza party. Oh. You wouldn't handcuff little old me. Oh my days. Okay. I'll go quietly. Thank you. Your cooperation is appreciated, and I'll be sure to make a note of it in my report. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Anything you can say and will be used against you in a court of law. I wish he wasn't smiling like that when arresting me. Is crazy. Deputy Franklin whips out a pair of handcuffs, tightening them quickly around your wrists in a smooth police academy maneuver. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. He escorts you towards his cop car, opening the back door as he continues reciting your Miranda rights. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering at any time. There. Now watch your head. As you're shoved into the car, a voice crackles over the radio. Franklin, pick up already. We ain't got all day, boy. Apologies, Sheriff. I was just apprehending Starlet after responding to Miss Scarlet's call. That's nice and all, but we need you up at the farms pronto. Got ourselves a possible 187 brewin'. 10-4. Damn, this day just keeps getting crazier. Suppose you'll have to come along for the ride, miss. Deputy Franklin wastes no time in turning on the sirens, blasting down the road towards whatever emergency is underway, with you in tow. This is possibly one of the few times he has ever been able to do this, and despite his sunglasses and stiff demeanor, there is definitely an excitement in the way he cruises around the treacherous mountain turns. Goodness gracious. As the car pulls up to the farms, you feel it again. A tingling at the back of your skull, an urgency, almost like a hand pressing you gently forward with the threat that it might become more forceful if you don't comply. Like so much crying. Crying that can only stop if you tend to it. There is definitely another stone here. It's getting harder to ignore them. The feeling is strange when you try to examine it. Contradictory. Something that both desires to be alone, yet at the same time needs you in its presence. It's bringing something into this world, and it needs your help delivering it. Deputy Franklin gets out of his car, leaving you in the back as he joins the assembled crowd. Guys, don't do it. Alright, Sheriff, what's the situation? Bo got tired of waiting for y'all to come do your jobs, so he took it upon himself to go investigate the Tremaine household, and he ain't come back out, and it's been hours. Irma, I'll do the honors of briefing the officer on our current situation. You can go back to the house and let us handle it from here. But y'all don't know about all his traps and whatnot, Duke. Oh, goodness. All his traps and whatnot. Duke was always saying not to go in there on account of the Tremaine insanity. It's all right, ma'am. We're the police. Facing dangerous situations is our job. The woman, who you take to be Beau's mom, reluctantly returns to the porch of her house, watching the other building intently as the officers talk amongst themselves. Franklin, you're with me. We're headed in to get a handle on the situation. Derrickson, you listen in from the squad car. Hopefully we can settle this without you, but you're our backup if things go south, alright? Yes, sir. Think there's any hope for the hostage? Been awful quiet. If you ask me, I don't suspect there is a hostage. Not anymore. We'll more likely be giving the doc a call once this is all settled. With a tip of his hat, Hugsby signals to Franklin, and the two make their way up the hill towards the old farmhouse. Hey there, Scarlet. Sorry I did come along for the ride. We'll have you back at the station soon enough. Sounds like this won't take long to settle. In the meantime, I'll keep you company. The thing calling out to you is starting to lose its patience. You need to find a way out of here before it gets angry. You don't really think Beau is dead in there, do you? I'd love to be wrong about this. I really would. It'd be a real shame considering what poor Irma's already been through this week. But Beau's a big man. Hard to keep a big man like that from moving around and making a fuss. And we've seen a whole lot of nothing going on in there. Still as the grave, if you pardon the expression. $100 if you want to go right now. They're just going to think I'm crazy. But I don't know. Because I don't really want to remain silent. I don't think that Scarlet would necessarily. I have reason to suspect that there is a cursed stone here that holds some kind of ancient, possibly evil magic. Magic stone? What, like a crystal? Crystal meth, maybe. I always suspected Julius might be a tweaker. He laughs at his own unfunny joke. Oh, goodness gracious. There is a sound coming from the house on the hill. Shouting, angry and panicked. A frantic voice crackles over the radio. Derrickson, come in. The sheriff is down. Those damn traps. Irma wasn't kidding. Keep it together, Franklin. Is he breathing? And what is the status on Tremaine and Calloway? Something in the basement. Going down now. You hear an ungodly noise over the radio. A gunshot. And then static. Franklin, report. There is only silence. Damn it, Franklin. Deputy Derrickson hesitates briefly outside your door, as if hoping someone might leave the farmhouse without his getting involved. But after a few seconds, he's heading up the hill, yelling something to Irma. Hi, Wayne. Find a shiny policeman. And then a figure appears outside of the car door. Hi, Digits. How's it going? A moment later, you hear the click of a lock. Time to go. You get out of the car, your body moving on instinct. The stone is louder outside. Its song is buzzing in your ears, drowning out the world, calling you up the hill towards the old farmhouse. You come with? That's all you're able to sputter out. The buzzing drowns out your words. You can almost feel it pulling, your feet aching to move. Wayne reaches out, touching your hand. His fingers are stiff and hot with infection. I'm sorry, Scarlet. More dangerous for me than it is for you. I can't. I really would have preferred it if we could do all this together, but the witch started it early. I should have known she would. The handcuffs fall away from your wrists. You weren't paying attention to what he did to make that happen, because it doesn't matter. You have somewhere to be. As she is, she's at her most vulnerable now. She won't be expecting you. So go on. I'll be watching. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. If you promise. He gives you a hard shove forward and then he's gone. Thanks, Wayne. But you're interrupted by yet another car pulling up to the scene. Irma, Starlet, I got paged by the sheriff. What the hell is going on here? Where are all the cops? Talking is just noise. Their words don't matter. There is a humming in your head, almost like a voice. One you can just barely make out. But you know it will be clearer the closer you get to that stone. You start wandering up towards the farmhouse at the top of the hill. Oh, come on. Where do you think you're going? But you continue forward. You barely even notice your hand slipping over the doorknob. And now you're inside. Sheriff Hugby dangles in the middle of the room. An axe, attached to some strange mechanism in the ceiling, is embedded in his face, holding up his corpse in an imitation of life. It's so sad, man. Jesus. Careful, Joan. There are traps all over the damn place. Past the body, you can see a giant pumpkin through the door to the garage. Cracked open, its guts strewn across the floor, seeds dotted across the hardwood like a trail of breadcrumbs leading to the basement stairs. What the hell is going on here? Derrickson. Is the doc here yet? We need a medical professional down here. His voice is coming from the basement. That's where you need to be. He's been shot, Joan. I think you better call someone. The doctor's here? Julius, you should let her come down. You don't really want the officer to die down here, do you? I am not the one blocking the stairs. I'm not the one you gotta convince. It won't be blocked for you. The stone wants you here. Yeah, it's a time. It's a time. Quite the visuals, huh? Everybody, shut up. Avery, that's your name, right? Get pressure on that wound. Yes, ma'am. Get away from him, kid. But the doctor, I don't care. Let him bleed. You're only making problems for yourself, Tremaine. Dr. Kelly quickly pulls out her phone. Damn it, there's no signal in here. I've got to step outside. You keep holding that wound, and no one else had better die while I'm gone. The doctor pulls at the door. A weave of fibrous tendrils hold it shut. It would seem that the same forces that let all of you in refuse to let anyone leave. Are we stuck here? What the hell are we supposed to do now? Really makes these scenes eerie. I'm so glad that it really fits in. really sells the whole image, you know? But you already know what to do. You're vaguely aware that Officer Derrickson is trying to stop you, but he's too nervous to take a step. You reach the basement door and start to claw at the weird, fleshy vines blocking your way. They're strong. They relent under your touch, welcoming you down below. Who the hell? So, you tried to undermine me, witch. I should have known you'd try to find a way around the rules. You've trapped the town. This isn't what any of us wanted. You should nullify the deal before this gets any worse. It's just unhappy. I didn't think something like that would be so opinionated. But I have a plan to placate it. If it wants a less broken body, It can have one. Then we'll see if it still feels cheated enough to hold a grudge.
It's not too late, Enoch. You can let Eddie have the baby, and your family can go back to normal, happy and unburdened. I'll clean everything up. It can be like nothing ever happened. I'll even leave town.
Manipulative hag. That's what you wanted all along, wasn't it? This whole ordeal was just an opportunity for you to have access to it. Well, I know better than to hand an ounce of power over to you, Verena. Our partnership has come to an end. Which has come to an end, which I'll be continuing on with my business, and you should be grateful that I let you continue on with yours.
One of these days, Enoch, someone will be strong enough to do what needs doing. I can wait. I can wait a long, long time.
Hey, you're not dead, are you?
Even the witch.
The witch? Sybil? She send you? She trick you into taking her side and all this? No. Guess I should have known I probably wasn't the only one whose life she decided to mess with. But all that ends now. I'm in charge here, and I'll get what I promised. Hey, man, calm down. It's all good. Speak for yourself. Oh.
Your vision finally focuses, and your mind is once again your own. Avery watches you furtively from across the room. The man, Julius, holds a gun in a silent threat. If I had a nickel for every time today I was threatened by a gun, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice in one day in the game. Franklin clutches at a nasty wound in his side, blood spilling out onto the dirt floor of the unfinished basement. And in the corner is Bo. Something is attached to him, the source of the awful noise. It stutters with pained inhalations. Bo is still breathing, but he doesn't look well. The stone brought you here and stuck you in the middle of another nightmare. Scarlet, we can't get to you. The door's sealed shut. Even as she yells to you, her voice is faint, barely audible behind the now thickened roots and vines that block your escape. Let's bring Scarlet up to speed, Julius. She looks a little shell-shocked.
Where do I begin? Alright. So the witch. I caught her doing some shit she shouldn't have been doing, and she offered me a deal if I kept it to myself. Always wanted to raise a boy of my own. God never saw fit to give me the chance. She gave me the means to right that injustice. Only it obviously didn't quite go the way it was supposed to. Calloway's interfered, just like always. Made it so I had to hatch him earlier than he was ready, and he came out hungry. Too hungry for me to handle. He kept trying to get at me, so I had to hole up down here. Been stuck since Wednesday night. Damn roots won't let me leave, and they've clogged up the drain so I haven't been able to call that witch and get her to make things right. But I'm a man of preparedness. Figured I could wait it out. Until Bo here decided to trespass. Guess he lost a tussle with my boy, and the 2 of them wound up down here with me. A really weird place to— yeah, it's episode 5, so it's certainly a lot. That about sums it up. I guess in the end, it's only fair. A son for a son. At the very least, all the VODs are going to end up on my YouTube channel by the end, but yeah, just kind of jumping into this, it's like, what is even happening? And birth ain't ever pretty, is it? It's not like doing it the old-fashioned ways, all sunshine and roses. Just hope he winds up looking more like a person when he's done cooking. I don't give a shit about your story, Tremaine. None of that gives you a reason to shoot a cop.
Or to shoot anyone, really, to be honest.
And try to understand what's happening. Good. Self-defense. Castle doctrine. Avery, what the hell is going on down here? You don't have to answer, kid. I don't need my business explained to every stranger who decides to pay me a visit.
Hi, Korok.
It's okay. Scarlet has been through a lot of stuff like this lately. She must be an expert at this point. So Julius hatched a baby out of the pumpkin, the really big pumpkin. You probably saw it upstairs. And then he was stuck in the basement for a couple days while it was upstairs crawling around looking for food. Then, unfortunately, Bo showed up. All I heard was some yelling and crashing around up there. Then I wound up with this shit on my hands, so I called the kid to come try to help me sort it out. That's me. Julius thought my plant expertise would come in handy. I can't say it's been that helpful, though. I feel like the baby is freaking out more than ever. Getting it out of Bo without killing him doesn't seem easy or possible. Would have been easier if everybody in town hadn't decided to show up uninvited. And why is Deputy Franklin shot? All I did was walk in. You can't just walk into a man's house and expect to have the run of the place. You were getting ready to pull out your gun. I was defending myself. You don't need to threaten anybody. Let's just talk, okay? Why would I need to do any talking? The way I see it, I'm the man with the gun and the guts to use it. So how about we all just sit quietly until it's over, and we can all go home and nobody else has to get hurt. Man, except... oh, he's already dead, kid. My boys beat him fair and square. Best you see it. That's such a crazy... Can we all just take a moment to realize it's crazy how, like, son for a son. That's my pumpkin child. He's won fair and square. It has to be this way. It's all good. My conscience is so clear right now. My guy. Listen, clearly you need something. You woke up talking about the witch. You want to know where she is? I can tell you how to find her. Skill issue. If none of you does anything stupid, then I'll tell you what I know. Sound fair? No. The conversation is interrupted by Bo shifting uncomfortably as the creature lets out a guttural moan. So, what? We're just supposed to just wait until the Calloway kid dies? That's exactly right. My kid gets born, and we all forget this ever happened. What were the terms of this deal you made with the witch? When I caught her doing what she was doing, she offered me this ritual thing in exchange for my silence. Offered it right away, like she could just see right through me, knew exactly what I wanted most. I suppose what she didn't know was I'm not the kind of man who turns somebody in. Her business was her business. She didn't have to bother giving me some recipe to cook a boy from dirt, blood, and pumpkin seeds, but I took it anyway. Then I just sat on it for a while, till a moment of weakness. What was the ritual? Did you do something to Duke's pumpkin? It wasn't his damn pumpkin. It was on my property, and the only reason it got as big as it did is because I fed it my own blood every night since the day it was planted, bleeding on the dirt like some kind of Satan worshipper. If that don't make it mine, I don't know what does. God knows I felt crazy doing it, though. I'm not proud to say my judgment was a bit clouded. in a bad way. The thought of bringing a boy into the world was just about the only thing that made me feel like I should stick around. Not that any of you need to know about all that. Only serves as explanation as to why I trusted her in the first place.
Is there really no way we could separate him from Bo? Maybe if we offered him something better.
This ain't it a bait. Shut up or I'll shut your mouth for you.
I don't know, Julius. I still think there's something we're missing. And if Scarlet thinks so too, maybe it's worth talking about again. That's why I'm here in the first place, right? To come up with some other solution.
And you and I already decided this was best. That discussion was had and done with before anybody else even showed up.
Franklin, how did you get down here? They just let you in for fun?
Stairs weren't blocked when we got here. Tried to go down, didn't notice the gun. It's my property. Let the record state I had every right to defend myself.
Baby seems to be digging deeper. Maybe if we let Dr. Kelly in here, she can help. We might save Bo without killing your son.
I don't know if Julius is the one you have to convince. Baby is pretty freaked out right now. It's been getting worse since everybody started coming in. It's trying to protect itself. That's right. My boy's got excellent instincts for self-preservation. So unless he decides to let her come down here, we'd best leave it be.
What kind of man lets another man make his sacrifices for him?
The hell would you know about being a man? Grow a pair, then tell me how you feel. You know I'm a man, Julius, and I think you're a coward. Correction, Franklin. You're a pig, not a man. You sold your soul for some donuts and a shiny badge.
You know, Julius, I actually think Scarlet might be onto something. It's about connection, you know? You're having a stranger make the connection that should be yours.
No, I'm not getting guilt-tripped into dying today. This is my one chance for things to go right in my life. Everybody else got their chances already. Don't I deserve mine? I feel like your choices right now point to maybe not. Maybe not so much right now. I came this far. Don't I deserve to see my boy open his eyes for the first time?
Bo twitches, his skin blossoming with fresh bruises as the thing takes more of him. How do you know it'll stop with Bo? It sounds like it was hunting you before it found him. What happens when it gets hungry again?
I don't appreciate you trying to pick all this apart. Just sit there and stay quiet, and we won't have trouble, got it? I won't get the chance to go after Julius. I'll be taking you in. Not if you hurry up and die. That. What?
What exactly did you catch her doing that made her make a deal with you?
I said, I'm not at liberty to discuss. But perhaps that's something to do with that husband of hers and whatever it was he was sick with. What? Huh? Husband? She's married? But she's so young. What? young? That old crone? We must be talking about different people, kid. And it ain't like she's married now, anyway. He's been dead for some time, on account of the illness.
Huh? What? She clearly betrayed you. This doesn't seem like what she promised, does it? Hi, Roggle. Good morning.
Damn it. None of you people have any patience. He needs time and he needs food.
Can't be easy making a baby this way. It's not easy making it the normal way either, from what I hear. But isn't it still beautiful? Even the way it is now. Oh, Avery. You plant fanatic, you.
It's eating him alive. You should be horrified.
The things under Beau's skin shift, writhing in an imitation of clenching muscle. Oh, what would Scarlet do? It's kind of cute. Yeah! What would Scarlet even... Rest against the wall, waiting, watching the thing as it slowly solidifies. Its breathes, yeah. Its breaths more confident as Beau's grow shallow. Is there no time to make a jack-o'-lantern option? It's crazy.
I can't let this happen.
He attempts to lean forward, reaching with a bloodied hand for his gun, but he winces, his hand pausing, then falling back to his side.
That's right. Just sit and watch. I think I've put enough holes in you already. You don't need another one.
Oh my, Julius. Do you really expect to not be arrested? And then, like, what's gonna happen to your kid then? Like,
isn't somebody gonna do something?
Everyone watches each other with unease. Is it alright if I sit by him?
Sure, but I'll shoot if you make any moves, kid. I don't want to, but I will.
Avery shifts, setting closer to Beau. They take his hand in theirs, which doesn't seem to do anything to comfort the man as the roots sink deeper, taking more. The pumpkin is gonna become a ward of the state when Julian gets 25 to life.
I'm sorry, Beau. It'll be over soon, okay? You're not alone. Nobody should die alone.
Oh.
I can't die. Mama would be sad.
Oh. But he does. The thing finally pulls away from what's left of Beau, and in place of the dead man's breathing, its ungodly cries fill the room.
Shh. It's all right, boy. You just killed a man.
No, I watched him die. I killed you. Or at least I will have, if you ever finish dying. The creature's connection to its womb has been severed, and the house groans unnaturally, straining under the weight of the meat that infiltrated its walls. The faucet in the corner of the room, finally unclogged, bursts to life and water pours out onto the dirt floor. Poor Beau, indeed.
You want to contact the witch? Well, here she comes. That water is how I do it. Spring water. It's like her, internet.
Don't call Beau a bozo, Korok. That's just rude. He's been dead for like 2 seconds. Did she tell you what you're supposed to do with it now?
Do you know what it eats? I mean, what else it eats?
Your hands are wet. The water is spreading, pooling around you. making the floor slippery with mud. Really is such a sweet young man. I saw a little bit of him, and yeah, I agree. He's very sweet. It makes me sad. And the other playthrough off stream that I started, I made the choice for him to live. A sucker for a character that's just really a chilled guy. Yeah, no, that's very fair. It's such a bummer, dude. I've really only seen him lose to a pumpkin and die so far. Well, I'm not calling him it. It's a proper name now. Joseph, after my father. And I bought some baby food. You think he'll like creamed spinach? The water is suddenly much higher. It rises up past your ankles. Am I hallucinating? Do you guys see the water? It's up to your chest now. There's no denying it. What are you talking about? There's no water. But there is. He just can't see it. Because his words are swallowed by the flood. You feel like you're choking. There's water in your lungs, or there should be. Your ears are filled with the sound of a rushing current. It's cold and dark, and there are people screaming somewhere. There are bodies in the water with you. They're all dead. 1,000 corpses, 1,000 homes, all torn to pieces. But the flood recedes. It hasn't happened yet. You are the mother of a daughter, and your daughter has told you about her terrible dream. It's going to kill everyone. You're not the one who had the vision. Not yet. It has only been described to you by the daughter you have been teaching, as your mother taught you. You're the only one who can stop it, Mother, or you won't be strong enough. Her words are heavy. The village is doomed, then. No, I've seen a path forward. The only path that doesn't end in death. Take my power. I give it willingly. Then you can save them all. I won't destroy my own daughter. I won't be destroyed. I'll be with you, same as I was before. I'll never leave you, so long as you live. I'm going to be, contrarian. Let the whole world burn for the one that you care about. Be a villain, reportedly. You deny your daughter. The flood comes, and despite your best efforts, the village is swallowed. 1,000 bodies and 1,000 homes. But that's not how it happened. This has already come to pass, and there is no changing it now, no matter how much you might wish it had gone differently. Figures as placeholders for character portraits. That is curious. That's a good question. You accept your daughter's decision. She is not the child she once was, and there is a confidence in her that you have no choice but to respect. You take her back. Her power becomes yours. I also kind of wonder, because with this being like a more realistic hand, if there's something to the psychology of that, you know, like telling this story, but not with any notable, like, faces for most of it, you know?
making it less like you're just consuming a person.
The flood does not come. The village is saved, and no one ever knows the sacrifice that was made for their lives. No one but you. Years have passed. You outlive everyone you used to know. You move on. You meet new people. You start a new life. Heck yeah, I don't know if when you were playing it on Discord, that was like the first time you were doing it, but I remember hearing your befuddlement, so like I think it might have been. It's so epic, I love it. You have another daughter. It was, I thought maybe. This time, the vision is yours. Is yours. The piece of your first daughter that lives in you shows you what is coming. Rotting bodies in the streets, the smell of sickness on the wind, church bells ringing for an endless parade of funerals, an entire city whose gates will never reopen, everyone inside the walls falling to the curse of plague. You are among their number, your body no longer strong enough to heal even itself. You are not enough to stop it. Not as you are. Yeah. There is another path, a narrow thread. If you were stronger, you could tug at it and unravel the tapestry of the future. Mother, what's wrong? Your daughter will never be as strong as you are, not after what you had to do, but she still carries in her some strength. Enough. What a terrible thing to be a mother's daughter. You tell her what's coming. You explain what she has to give up, what you both have to give up. You love your daughter, after all. You will miss her, as you miss your first daughter. She is angry. Even when you try to explain that she will be a part of you, that she won't die, she cries and cries, and she tries to run away from you. Fate is attempting to cut its loose thread. Contrarian. Because also it just sucks. Your daughter leaves you. You resign yourself to the future. She is one of the first to die. The streets flood with disease, and the bodies are buried, then burned, then left in heaps on the streets, until no one is left to remember any of their names. And I know that this is based on something that you actually see, reportedly from the first daughter anyways. But it is interesting that even though it's like explaining what happened in this past, that you have quote unquote an option, and yes, that option ends up being null and void, right? But it still shows you what happens and explains why it's sad and worse before being like, oh, it's not how it happened, actually. I feel like there's something more to that, more to be said about that as well. But that's not how it happened. You do not let your daughter run from you. More mothers' daughters than daughters' mothers. If you think about it. I mean, I guess distinctly, yeah. You're so smart. No plague comes. The city never knows that it would have been a ruin. But there is an unhappiness in you. She didn't understand, and what you took of her is angry, confused, restless. You will have to carry that with you. It is part of the burden of what you are. Though no one knows the depth of what you have done, oh
over the years, you have not escaped notice. You find yourself in a capital in a place whose name has changed too many times to count. A war is brewing. The eyes of those who hold fate in their hands are on you, their lips asking which threads to pull and which to cut. And the tapestry is once again revealed to you. The war rages, and it never stops raging. Bleeding that spans generations, children born to die, decades of pain that leave a raw wound on the world. Or it ends before it begins. The few die for the sake of the many. You can guide powerful hands to crush those that need crushing, if only you have more power of your own. You raise them differently these days. The disquiet left by the reluctant daughter taught you a permanent lesson. They don't need convincing anymore. They are ready to return to you whenever you need them. You have a change of heart. It has to end sometime. You let her go. Hundreds of thousands suffer. Countless lives are cut short. Your daughter is among them. Even in her privileged place by your side, the war reaches her, and the both of you burn along with everyone else. You saved her for nothing. But of course, that's not how it happened. You will be the greatest. This daughter joins her sisters easily, as she has been trained to do. You are the only one who will remember her sacrifice and her name. A small rebellion is crushed before it becomes a revolution. People in power are happy. You leave. You don't want to see any more visions of war. You set your sights on a place where there are no kings. And yet, even an ocean away, power finds you. A man with aspirations. Anyone can hold power here, you have discovered, if they're vicious enough to want it. The younger in him senses the power in you, and for a time, you humor him. You allow him to give you a life of comfort. You and your daughter. You don't see a future where he ever grows more powerful than you can manage. Not until the vision comes. A war like none the world has witnessed. A fledgling nation devoured in the nest. A man who sits on a throne where none was meant to be. The world under his cruel fist, bowing to its crushing weight. The very ocean stained red by his influence. He is already on his way, you realize too late. You have been too close to him to see it. Your choices have already narrowed. The war is coming whether you strike now or not. A loose thread sticking out from a mass of blood, with you too weak to grasp it. But you have a daughter. You always have a daughter, until you don't. Of course you're tired, but the world needs you. You can't let it end like this. The part of you that is your first daughter can't let you. Altera is so cool. She joins her sisters, as is her destiny, and you remove him from the world. The hole where he was is filled by lesser men, none of whom remember whose shoes they're stepping into, and none of whom can hope to command the way he would have. Blood is spilled. Less blood, but you still feel every drop tearing apart. I don't know if you can hear me clapping all that well, but I was. That was beautiful. You hide yourself away from the world. You and your daughter. The visions still find you, but here
They're small. The decision's simple. You make them all the same, helping where you can. The storm halted, the conflict settled, until one day, when you are shown a dark pit. Splintering wood, debris trapping everyone inside, bodies burning as the very rock catches fire, children screaming as their flesh bubbles, then silence as lungs fill with smoke. And just so you know, oh goodness, you know the choice that lies in front of you. So, because I know that this one ends up being different anyways, I can't remember if Salem did this during theirs or not. And because I don't remember, make every incorrect choice while retreading the past. I was hoping that was an achievement. I was hoping that was the secret, as to why I wanted to try it, by the way. She joins her sisters, as so many have before her. The disaster is averted, lives are saved, and you have another daughter. But that's not what happened. You take your daughter's hand and you look her in the eyes. They're green, like yours. You don't want to do it this time. You stare out over the hills together as a plume of smoke rises into the air. But you can't hear the screams from here. It doesn't. The Pumpkin Baby storyline, we accessed it all. You assume you will die one day, like anyone else. After all, you're long past due. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to know your grandchildren before you go. Then the man comes, and with him, a vision. He has already decided. He is bringing something here, something ravenous that doesn't belong, that has been pressing at the edges of your world, trying to find a way in. It has its way now, whether you help him or not. More of the thread you followed comes into focus, and for the first time, you follow it beyond your death. Disaster after disaster, crisis after crisis, thousands of years of little cuts that you weren't there to mend. On and on it goes, longer than you can ever hope to follow. Its toll eternal and incalculable. You had enough of him, but there is a new thread too. If you are patient enough, if you are strong enough when the moment finally comes, if you do everything right, you can devour this thing that sits outside the world. And it will give you so much power that you will never have to take back a daughter again. You could fix as many things as you'd care to fix. Floods, plagues, wars, kings. You look into her green eyes, so much like yours. You did. You welcome her back, as you have with every daughter before her, and you help the man. He is arrogant. He cheats the thing from another world in every way he can. He wastes your time. There will have to be more daughters before the day comes that this will be over. But days and daughters come and go, and you are very patient. You have to be, if you're to stop the hurt that would scar a world without you there to guide it. And now, you are here, on the cusp of the end, the final daughter. Starlet? What are you doing here? Are you real? No, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a dream or not. I've already made my decision anyway. Don't bother trying to talk me out of it. I finally have a real purpose, and now that I know what that purpose has always been, I can't go back. Or it'd hang over me for the rest of my stupid, small life. What exactly is she trying to prevent? Do you even know? That thing that Enoch brought, whatever it is, breaking out and causing havoc. And all those disasters my mom would be able to stop if she takes its power for herself. So much smaller than all of that. But in this moment, I can be what stops it. I can be big enough. My life can be meaningful. Do you really feel like you have to sacrifice yourself for your life to have meaning? Working at a shitty little general store in a dying town? Yes, I would call that pretty meaningless. I can't. Uh, I forgot you. Can't believe it. All day, it's like you just didn't exist. That's okay. It's part of all this. Soon enough, you can go back to forgetting, and it'll be like all this never happened. You won't even know to be upset about it. What decision? Did she not just go through that whole life story thing? Was that just me? Look, I'm going to do what I was born to do. I'm going to save lives, Starlet. More than most people could do in a lifetime. How do we know any of that really happened? Doubt all you want, but I'm not taking that chance. Because if I turn back now, I'll know everything my mom could have stopped will be my fault. You know, I don't think I've ever seen you without glasses before. Huh? Of course. Should have known better than to think I could hide from you, Starlet. I wasn't trying to trick you, for what it's worth. Though I'm sure that doesn't sound very truthful. Please try to trust that this is all in your best interests. I'd hoped it would all be over before you could find me. I know it can be unpleasant to watch. I'd hoped to spare you, even if I knew in my heart that all the worthwhile roads for you to walk would bring you right here before I could finish my work. But you know this has to be done to save you, to save Tabitha, to save everyone in town. Haven't they all been stuck long enough? Nika can't save them on her own, but I can. I wish this wasn't how this had to be, but it's the only way your story gets a happy ending. There is no illusion masking her words, no trickery. She is speaking her truth. I like that it's her truth. I like that that's a distinction that they make. But perhaps there remains a narrow path for you to walk. Bringing up Wayne here would be so funny, I think. Just in case, but I do want to explore because it's fun. Sybil, this feels evil. I know how unpalatable this feels and looks. Like, Miss Ma'am, you have flippin' vine or whatever wrapped around your daughter's mouth. But pull back the curtain and it's a far kinder choice than anything you've been party to this week. How does a gentle exit compare to locking Reese Kelly away in that tiny little room for the rest of— That's crazy thing to bring up. Also, why do you know that? I know that you're magic, but why? That's messed up. Sybil?
Do you think he'll ever be well enough to leave? Unlike Duke, who left behind a widow and son to mourn him, Kanika's memory will be but a passing breeze. There won't be anyone to hurt from her loss. Even you'll forget her as soon as she's gone. The burden of remembering her is mine and mine alone. When you ran after Becca and Alexis, you courageously left Rosalina Gutierrez maimed for life. Girl? You see, from the first reveal of you doing this, I knew that I didn't like you, Sybil. But right now, I'm feeling very, very justified to not help you, by the way. Just now you chose to let that parasite kill Bo Calloway. Now Irma is left all alone in this world. I don't think you've made any wrong choices, Starlet. Enoch's legacy has simply stacked the deck against you. My daughter is one person, and she won't die in the traditional sense of the word. She'll be here, with me and her sisters. It will be gentle, stepping into a pool. All of these lingering threads left by your decisions can still be mended, if you let her help me. Why should I trust you after everything that just happened with Julius? Oh, the baby? The one he was supposed to keep incubating until the pumpkin had shriveled in the field. I gave very clear instructions, you know. It isn't my fault that the Callaways decided it was their property, or that he decided to hatch it while it was hungry. I saw the possibility. I won't lie to you about that. But I see many possibilities. It was just as likely that the baby would consume him before anyone was the wiser, or that the pumpkin would be taken to the fair, and the thing inside would die where no one could see it suffering. Sometimes, Starlet, pain is unavoidable. Julius wanted a fix for everything that had gone wrong for him over the decades of his life. I couldn't provide that, not after who he had decided to become. It was already too late to stop those consequences from reaching him. What you're doing now is inviting a future with more pain. Please, let me choose the kindest path instead. You don't sound all that kind, to be honest. Did you know I was going to wind up here? Doesn't this throw a wrench into your plans? I did see this possibility. No, inevitability, I suppose. I'd hoped it would all be over before you could find me. I know it can be unpleasant to watch. I'd hoped to spare you, even if I knew in my heart that all the worthwhile roads for you to walk would bring you here, right before I could finish my work. But your being here only throws a wrench into things if you're unable to grasp the weight of what you're about to do. So ask as many questions as you need. Explore. You said the thing. I'll answer until you understand. And what's supposed to happen to Miles after all this? Are you just going to abandon him or something? Of course not. You think I haven't had other children in the past. I just become something else to them. Someone who still loves them. He won't be alone. He'll still have the both of us. Just in a different way than he used to. The question you should be asking yourself is what will happen if you stop this from finishing. Do you think Miles will be better off with a broken family in a town where everyone stays trapped? Let him be free to have a future, Starlet. I can't help it. Wayne is already going to take care of me. I don't need your help. Sybil flashes you a pitying look. You poor dear. Do you really feel like he's the only one you can turn to? You think I've been manipulating you, yet that man somehow managed to earn your loyalty? Just because he's been kind? Sybil, I'll be so for real right now. After the whole tea debacle, yes. To be honest, you trying to guilt trip me right now and having Kanika tied up so she can't speak. I like someone who's nice to me. True. Kindness is easy when you're free to lie. Truth is what's hard. I'm giving you the truth now. You call this truth? It's the closest I can get to it. Yes. Of course, the scratching on the walls, this was what it was for. Scarlet, no. You don't know what you're... You don't have to know how to speak it. The thought of it brings a sound to your lips, the name forcing its way out, yearning to be free from your mind and used as the dagger it is. The dagger tears into her. Everything that is not her pours out of the delicate tapestry of her existence. The parts she arranged so neatly, scattering, their voices filling the dream around you. Confusion as her careful order is upended. A single, dangling thread comes into focus. Starlet, wait. You can't see how this will benefit you because you don't understand the danger you're in. Your enemies have made sure you can't. Not until it's too late. I am the only one who wants to see you walk free. I don't believe you, but I understand why you wouldn't trust me. Of course I do. I'd have to weave my own little lies as part of this ridiculous game. Please know that I'm not lying now. Even if you don't believe a word I've said about your own safety, I'll give you something else, too. Something you need. As you are now, you're limited in your potential. There's so much more you could be. I could give that to you. Consider it a wish grant. This is crazy. She's bartering. She doesn't know. We only need to finish what I started. Guys, I wish you could see the way my jaw just dropped right now. I didn't know that that's what she meant. Okay, so I'm not going to choose those because that's not Starlet. That's also just not me. But I'm very curious in my own time. I'm also curious if it would like it'd be interesting if it treated it like hardcore after that, like if there was like a takeaway from that, or if it's you genuinely just gaining a third trait. Anyway, if you want me to trust you, then give me what you're promising now. Show me you can. I can't. It requires a strength I don't currently possess. If you want what I've offered you, you'll just have to trust me. I'm doing this for everyone. Remember that. Gain the trait hot is a really funny way to settle this. It would be funny. Your year's back too. I can confirm that. It's very interesting. You let Kanika get absorbed into the aether and come back sexy. No! Anyways. Hee 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 hee. You ignore her offer. You grab the thread and pull. The delicate tapestry is unwoven, the witch's careful work torn open, if only momentarily, as her daughter's hands are finally unbound enough to grab for their mother. Their cries are a song, calling out as they drag her down into the depths of their mass, craving her warmth, her attention, her love, as it has been so long since she held them. 'Cause. 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 'C
The tapestry weaves itself shut around her. The cries grow quiet, sated. You mock the pumpkin baby to death. Oh my gosh. Yeah, why do you look so different? I know. Steroids. The witch is gone. Nika catches her breath in the space once occupied by her sisters. Now, she stands alone. Though, she isn't really alone. Not anymore. And she never will be. She wears the weave of all those generations of power. Someone has to. What did you do to me? Was that really you earlier? Or was that her talking through you? No, that was me. I I said those things. And I meant them. I really believed it. Still do. Okay, I did say it to both Stella and Tabitha earlier in the game. I think I have to say it now. I'm like contractually obligated. Welcome to the Dead Moms Club. And a laugh breaks through her shock. You can't just say that to someone. But it was funny. For the record though, I don't think she's dead. She's still in here somewhere, like the rest of them. God, this is insane. Magic isn't supposed to be real. She let me say that so many times, all while she knew. Am I supposed to do what she was going to do? I don't even know what that is. She never told me anything or taught me anything. It's a bit different when you're the one who killed her. A little bit. How am I supposed to save this town if I don't even know what's wrong with it? God, this is so much pressure. I never asked for this. I don't think I can handle it. Aw, we can figure this out together. That's what we've been doing all week, remember? You, you're right. You're right. We can figure this out. Made it all the way here and did whatever it is you just did. Nothing is too much for us to handle. She takes a deep breath, collecting herself. This trait safe is really cute. I quite like it. We'll just take it one step at a time. First step, figure out how to get out of here. It's weird. Everything felt slippery before, like I couldn't hold on to anything. But now it's like I can see how it's all put together, and where all the seams are. So if I just... You don't see whatever it is she was doing. The world around you goes dark. You're moving, like a current is carrying you somewhere, buoying you whoa, you upwards, your body ascending rapidly until finally you surface. Very protagonist core. I do think mystical will forever be my favorite trait. You're outside. It's raining. You have no idea where you are. Tulip? Janie? Oh, my days. Once again, Rockwell, you know what? I'm actually really glad you're here, considering you are the reason I have these games in my possession right now. So thank you. Bottom of my heart, because I knew I loved this game from watching others play it. And I'm just really glad that I got to experience it for myself. It's not even over yet. Don't know when the final 2 episodes
will be coming out, but you best believe the moment they do, I'll be on that streaming so ready. Um, but it's been fun. It's been a whole lot of fun. I'm going to miss playing it, to be honest. I'll probably start other saves. Like you can see the Luna one that I had started in my own time, but goodness gracious, I know I've said it before. I'll probably say it 1,000 more times that this is the kind of game that I would love to be a part of making, and I know it's not programmatically difficult. Um, like I'd still love to be a part of making something like this, and even like conspiring for story stuff. Are you kidding? I'm a storyteller first and foremost, I think. It'd be so fun. So what's next? So next week I probably play FNAF 4. Good old Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was at the bite of 87. But after that I might jump into Slay the Princess, which is made by the same people. Um, Very excited to take a look into that as well. And who knows what comes after all that? We shall see. We shall find out together, as friends do. But until then, thanks so much everyone for hanging out, listening to my acting. It's like less voice acting than Salem, but that's okay, because that's their thing. And acting is just itself is pretty fun.